Hey guys, this is Sam from Airy Tea, and today we have a chrysanthemum, also known as chrysanths, which is basically just a flower originated in China. And as of today, there are hundreds of different varieties and species. So thanks to just a great taste that chrysanthemum tea offers and health benefits, it's now used to not only reduce pollution, according to NSA, a clean air study, or NASA, and it also used in cooking, tea blends, and even alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. So its use is pretty widespread, and it was cultivated in Asia for centuries and dating back even to the 15th century BC, but chrysanthemum has been brought to America in the 18th century, and drinking tea, especially Chinese tradition that leads back to the Song Dynasty, which was around 916 years and 1279 years. So the flowers bloom in autumn and are usually hand-picked, dried, and then ready for brewing. So chrysanthemum is not only popular as an aromatic herbal tea, but it also has an important role in history, art, and spirituality. So in Chinese art, it is famous part of the Four Gentlemen. These four plants have been drawn since the Song Dynasty, and which has hundreds of years ago, and represents the four seasons, which is winter, spring, summer, and autumn. And this amazing flower is also a star of many Chinese poems, and especially there are even festivals that designed to honor it. So it's a pretty rich flower in history, and there are also many interesting symbolical references of the chrysanthemum tea, and it has different meanings in different parts of the world. It even has its own month, November, and this flower is thought to bring joy during the autumn months and remind us that cold weather doesn't have to be so gloomy and depressing. And in China it represents usually friendship, stability, longevity, and luck, and you would give it to a friend to whom you wish only the best. And in Japan, it was brought over by the Buddhists and quickly became the flower of the royal family and the emperor. So that's why it's tied to ruling nobility and honor there. And it's interesting that in some European and US countries, the flower is most famous for All Saints' Day usage, and this is maybe because the blooming coincides with that time of the year, but it definitely has some symbolic value. And in the East, it was considered to bring longevity and content in life as well as the afterlife. So chrysanthemum is also an important flower for meditation and is believed to calm you down and connect you to your inner being. So it's very important benefit that this tea provides, because many of us are just, hard coping with the busy, noisy city life, and we're always just running around from one place to another, never having the time to just, stop for a moment and just relax. So when you start brewing this tea, you'll first notice that the aroma that will just, help you breathe much better, and the water will start to turn just into nice yellowish color that resembles the shade of flower. And when you finally taste the tea, you'll be surprised by its refreshing flavor and taste a touch of sweetness. So you'll definitely find out why chrysanthemum tea is one of the most popular herbal teas worldwide. And if you like classics, this is the tea for you. And speaking of the benefits, in addition of drinking huge amounts of vegetable and fruit juices, as well as starving yourself to unhealthy levels in order to quote-unquote detoxify yourself, you can simply add a cup of chrysanthemum to your diet, which has been proven to do wonders when it comes to liver detoxification. And number 2 of the many benefits is that it reduces dizziness or vertigo. So having vertigo or just dizziness in general can be both frustrating and dangerous, and especially if you're not at home, or even worse if you're driving. And thankfully, there is natural remedy for that, and you might have guessed, it is chrysanthemum tea. So also, no matter how healthy some of us try to be, when it comes to not eating fatty foods, there is a time when you just can't do it anymore and just decide to go for a cheat meal. So if you simply just love great food and have no reason to stop, which is me, And how do you make these meals healthier for you is that you just drink a cup of chrysanthemum tea during your meal, which will help to digest all that fatty food faster. And Chrysanthemum tea can help you in more than just few ways when it comes to keeping your body in the optimum temperature range. So if you have a fever or even a heat stroke, consume a cup of tea to relieve those symptoms, and since herbs will act as a natural coolant and help your body to cool off. So lastly, chrysanthemum tea is also widely used to treat heat rashes that appear due to internal temperature imbalance. Yeah, that's interesting. And if you're trying to quit coffee, I know I did many times, it's caffeine free, so there are no like issues associated with like dizziness, heart issues, irritation or fatigue, and even anxiety. So and despite the fact if you don't even give up or reduce your daily intake of caffeine, there are other natural alternatives that will basically refresh your brain, and one of them is basically just chrysanthemum tea, which has been basically it was found to have stimulating properties, improving one's senses while calming down the nerves. So unlike the coffee, which just, I don't know, hypes you up on everything, chrysanthemum just bumps those necessary, I guess, stats of your body and lowers down the stress and nerves. So that's probably one of the best benefits so far. And if you want to live a long and healthy life, when taking care of your heart and cardiovascular system is a must. So the sooner you start, the sooner you will notice the benefits, and the longer it will be before you have to visit the doctor. And there are actually various clinical trials that demonstrated that chrysanthemum tea relieves various symptoms of high blood pressure, as well as treating the chest pain that stems from various heart diseases. So there's that. And if you have itchy eyes or dry eyes, especially if you're sitting a lot in front of PC, especially when it just won't stop getting worse and you just start rubbing, chrysanthemum tea does wonders to your eyes, and as to now it has been used for ages to treat dry eyes and itchy eye symptoms, so even blurry vision and watery eyes. So on top of this, chrysanthemum tea helps you if you have a sore throat. So it's like, this is like a flower for everything. And also, if speaking of sore throat and flu, I guess, you don't really have to drink like raw lemon juice and damage your stomach in order to reach like a lot of vitamin C in your system. And simply by consuming chrysanthemum tea will infuse your body with a healthy dose of vitamins that help to fight free radicals, improve just immune system, flush toxins, and help with digestion. And it has basically a lot of vitamin C. And last but definitely not least is the chrysanthemum tea's ability to provide energy to our lungs and strengthen them. So furthermore, according to the research in Japan and China, chrysanthemum tea helps to provide relief in various respiratory problems such as shortness of breath and likely asthma. So basically, it's a good tea for pretty much every time of the day since it doesn't have caffeine. Maybe even if you're going to the gym, since it helps to breathe you easier and just makes your lungs stronger. And yeah, I mean, it's an incredible flower. And if you're looking for some chrysanthemum tea, you can head over to your local store or whatever, just go with the premium, I guess, and which is airytea.com. So that's AIRYTEA.com. This was Sam, and I wish you a fantastic day.